The verb to have in Hebrew works differently than in English. Hebrew doesn't actually have a verb that directly translates to have, and instead, possession is expressed using a prepositional construction. In Hebrew, we use the phrase yesh le, which means there is to someone. The pattern for this construction consists of yesh le plus a pronoun or a noun, and the thing that's possessed. The literal meaning of this pattern is there is to someone something, but to have a logical representation, it would simply be I have, you have, he has, etc. The components of this pattern are yesh and le. Yesh means there is, and it always stays the same in the present tense. In other tenses, the word will change to other forms, but for now, we're focusing on the present. Le is the preposition to, combined with a pronoun or noun to show the possessor. In the previous video, I explained how to form possession in Hebrew, and one very important concept was suffixes at the end of prepositions. The modern method of forming possession in Hebrew has separate words, like prepositions, to which suffixes are attached. This point is extremely vital because when using the verb to have in Hebrew, the suffixes from the previous lesson will be attached to the preposition le, which will express possession. So, let's see how the structure works. Initially, we see that the suffixes from before are attached to le, which is not difficult to remember, along with the word yesh, meaning there is. However, because Hebrew uses a prepositional construction to show possession, it's important to show the literal meaning of the phrases, but in context, the words are expressed using the have in English. Yesh li. Yesh li. There is to me, but in context it means I have. Yesh li. I have. Yesh lecha. Yesh lecha. There is to you masculine, or you have masculine in context. Yesh lach. Yesh lach. There is to you feminine, or you have feminine. Yesh lo. Yesh lo. There is to him, or he has. Yesh la. Yesh la. There is to her, or she has. Yesh lanu. Yesh lanu. There is to us, or we have. Yesh lachem. Yesh lachem. There is to y'all masculine, or y'all have masculine. Yesh lachen. Yesh lachen. There is to y'all feminine, or y'all have feminine. Yesh lahem. Yesh lahem. There is to them masculine, or they have masculine. Yesh lahen. Yesh lahen. There is to them feminine, or they have feminine. You can see how the suffixes from before are attached to the end of the preposition le, and the pronouns in the first person, yesh li and yesh lanu, are the only ones that do not have gender, while the rest are affected by it. So, when expressing anything possessive in Hebrew, the suffixes really help because they're universal across many prepositions. Overall, this is how to have is formed in Hebrew, using a prepositional construction with the literal meaning of there is to someone. After learning how to form to have, we can practice by making sentences like I have a book. Yesh li sefer. Yesh li sefer. The literal meaning is there is to me a book. She has a car. Yesh la mechonit. Yesh la mechonit. The literal meaning is there is to her a car. They, feminine, have a house. Yesh lahen bait. Yesh lahen bait. The literal meaning is there is to them, feminine, a house. the literal meanings make no sense when said in English, so we revert to a modern structure. In summary, this is how the verb to have works in Hebrew, but it's also important to know other concepts, like negation. Instead of saying not yesh, which is not possible in Hebrew, the language has a different word, en, meaning there is not or don't have in context. I already explained this word in my negation video, but here's a short recap. The word en doesn't really have a direct translation to English, so it must be known as a negative expression, and it's used to negate an affirmative statement by changing only one word. So, if the construction yesh li means I have, a construction with en means en li, I don't have, or there isn't to me, with a literal meaning. En lecha, you don't have, masculine. En lach, you don't have, feminine. En lo, he doesn't have. En la, she doesn't have. En lanu, we don't have. En lachem, y'all don't have, masculine. En lachen, y'all don't have, feminine. En lahem, they don't have, masculine. En lahen, they don't have, feminine. In summary, the negative construction with en is the same as with yesh, with only one word that shows negation. As a note, en and yesh only work in the present tense, because in other tenses, the words are modified, but they will be shown in future videos. Considering this pattern, we can make negative sentences like I don't have time. En li zman. En li zman. The literal meaning is there isn't to me time. He doesn't have a dog. En lo kelev. En lo kelev. The literal meaning is there isn't to him a dog. In this case, the literal meanings completely make no sense, so we need to have a modern pattern. Moreover, Hebrew sentence structure can shift a little for emphasis or style. While yesh li sefer, I have a book, is standard, native speakers might say sefer yesh li, a book I have, which is used for emphasis or poetic tone. Still, keep the SVO structure as your basis when you speak Hebrew. Additionally, although the form of en and yesh doesn't change, the noun that you have does follow gender and number rules, like in the following sentences. Yesh li sefer. I have a book, which is a masculine noun. Yesh lach mishpacha nehederet. Yesh lach mishpacha nehederet. You, feminine, have a wonderful family, a feminine noun. En lanu chaverim. En lanu chaverim. We don't have friends, which is a masculine and plural noun. Considering this concept, pay attention to noun gender and plural forms. At last, yesh and en can also be used outside of possession, often to express existence, availability, or presence, like yesh chalav bamekarer. Yesh chalav bamekarer. There is milk in the fridge. En be'aya. En be'aya. No problem, or there is no problem. In conclusion, as you learn Hebrew, you'll see that en and yesh are versatile words that express there is and there isn't as much as I have and I don't have. So, this is how the verb to have and possession fully work in Hebrew.